Hi, I'm Lisa from Everything Nice for Dolls. I make and sell doll clothes for 18-inch dolls, such as American Girl dolls. I also make other sizes of doll clothes, such as the 14-inch welly wishers and also the 15-inch bitty babies. Now, I am not affiliated in any way with the American Girl Doll Company or Mattel. I just make my own doll clothes and to sell on Etsy. I have an Etsy shop and I will put that link in the description area. So today is the 4th of July and I would like to wish all of my subscribers a very happy 4th of July. I even wore my patriotic cat shirt for the occasion. Now you can't see it here, but I'll show you. See? My husband got it for me for Mother's Day, I think, But anyway, okay, so what I'm going to talk to you today about is I'm going to show you how you can make your own beanbag for your dolls. Now, it could be for an American Girl doll. It can be for, just any doll that you have. It doesn't have to be an American Girl doll. It's just, it does fit, the 18-inch dolls a little bit more. Okay, so here is one that I have made before. I made this one. And I also made this one right here. So I use it in my doll house that I have. Okay, so in just a little bit, I am going to show you how you can make one for yourself. Now, first of all, if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and also subscribe. And also hit that bell notification so you'll always know when I upload another video. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know, if you happen to hear some music in the background, it's because our neighbors, they're kind of celebrating the 4th. So if you do, just kind of ignore it. Okay, but in just a minute, I will turn the camera around and I will show you how to make this little project. Okay, and you can also get a free pattern, but I did not do this. This is not my idea. I got the idea from, they used to be called the Real Coke, but I think now their blog is called Real Creative, Real Organized. Okay, Real Creative and Real Organized. I will also put that link of her blog in the description area. So I got the idea from her, and she has on her blog. I really like her blog. It has crafts you can make. She has all kinds of do-it-yourself home projects for the home, projects for kids to do, because she is a mom, she has kids, and she also has some recipes and also some things on how to be organized in your home. So I really like all her ideas, and this is just one of her ideas, was the beanbag chair for dolls. Okay, so in just a second, I am going to turn this around and then we'll get started with the tutorial. Okay, but I wanted to say that I like this project because it's a really good one. It's easy for kids to be able to do this. So if you're a kid out there and you're listening, it's a really good thing to start learning how to sew. You might ask your mom or some older person that that knows how to sew to help you with learning how to sew. There's a lot of information on YouTube, so you might be able to find something, a simple how to sew on YouTube. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to get this camera turned around and we'll get started with the tutorial. Okay, now I am back, and now I have my pieces that I have already cut. Now, the supplies that you will need are the pattern that you will get from when you go on to her blog and you just search for beanbag, doll beanbag pattern on her website, on her blog. And then you will also need some fabric. You don't really need a whole lot. I would say probably less than 1/4 of a yard. On her site, she says one of the supplies is that for the material is probably a fat quarter. But anyway, on this pattern, you have to cut 6 of these pieces. Now I did 3 of this kind. This is a fleece type material, and I also did 3 of the minky type material. Okay, so you will need your pattern, the material, and also I cut mine out with a rotary cutter. Now if you want to use scissors, that will be fine. You also need some sort of like scissors or a rotary cutter. If you do use a rotary cutter and you are a kid, you might want to get your mom or someone, a grown-up, to help you cut these pieces out. Okay? All right, so also, oh, something else, I'm sorry, I forgot. You'll also need a thread to match the material that you have, and also a sewing machine to be able to sew this on. And another thing, you will need some pins because you'll have to pin these things together. Okay, so I believe that is all of the materials that you have to have. Okay, but it tells on her blog exactly what you need. So in just a second, I'm going to switch over to my sewing machine and I'm going to show you how you do this. Okay? All right. All right. So the next thing that you'll need to do is you'll need to pin the side of the 2 pieces. I've got this piece and I've got this piece, and you want to put the right sides together. So that would be the good side of the material, okay? All right, and then you are going to sew a seam, a 1/4 inch all the way down around this one right here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. All right, we'll do that. And as you are sewing, take out your pins because you don't really want to run over a pin. It's not too good. If you run over a pin, you can damage your needle pretty bad. You'll break a needle if you're not careful. Okay, so as I'm sewing, I am taking out my pins. Okay, so I'm just going around here with a 1/4 inch seam. Usually you can tell that it's a 1/4 inch seam. If you'll just put your presser foot right up against the material, then that'll be about a 1/4 inch seam. Okay? All right. Back stitch. Okay, now I'm going to clip my threads. Okay, I'm going to clip my threads here. Okay, so now you have got something that looks like this. Okay, so now you want to take one of the other pieces and do the same thing with that. You need to go ahead and pin this together on the right sides together, okay? So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Make sure you get the edges even. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew right down here, just like I did before, another 1/4 inch seam. And take out pins as you are sewing. You know, I forgot to tell another supply that you will need, and I forgot all about that, but it's listed in her blog anyway. Something else besides all the other things that I mentioned, you have to have some polyfill beanbag filler. So that's what you will use to fill the bean bags up. Okay, all right, now clip my threads. Okay. Okay. All right, so now we've got this, and now you'll want to get the other contrast material, and you want to do the same thing. You want to try to pin it together. If you try to pin it where all the corners are going to meet. Okay. And like I said, let me see. You know what? I think I've got this wrong. You might want to make sure that you're doing good side to good side. And I think it's hard to tell with this. Some materials, it's really hard to tell which is the right side or the good side. So I think that this is, I flipped it over. I think that's the good side to that. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that over again because I think I had it on the wrong side. Okay. Now, just remember to try to keep it even. Now, eventually, when you come to your last pieces, you're going to have to leave a space open so that you can fill it with your polyfill. So go ahead and get this done. I might need just one more right there. Okay, let's see. Let's do another one right here. Okay, all right, here we go. We're going to do this again. We're going to do a 1/4 inch seam. Now, first of all, I'm going to back stitch. Okay, and take out a pin. Remember, always make sure you take out your pins. You don't want to run over. You know, if you run over a pin, it will, even if you don't break your needle, it will dull your needle really bad. So it just won't sew as well. So you always need to make sure you take out your pins as you go. And if you happen to drop one on the floor, just pick it up so nobody can get it. Okay. All right. I really hope that, hopefully that music is not going to be bothering anybody. I can hear it quite a bit. But anyway. Okay. Here we go. All right. Now I'm going to cut my threads. Clip my thread down here. Okay. Okay. Now then, we want to get this piece. Okay. And you're going to do the very same thing. You're going to pin this onto the right side, onto the right sides together, or good side to good side. Okay, we're going to pin it. Okay, clip the threads off. Okay, I'm going to put these pins back on my pin cushion. Okay, let's see, I want to clip the threads over here on this side. Okay, all right, so you kind of see how we're going. It's getting there. We have just one more piece that I have to put together. Okay. Okay. All right. So on this side will be done just like this side will be done just like I've been doing, but when I get, because see, we've got two sides. We're going to have to join it up with the other side over here, okay, with this one. So this side will sew it just like we've done the others, but then when we get to the other side, we will have to leave a space, a little bit of a space on the side for turning. Let's see if yeah, I think that looks right. Okay, so let's try to get this one lined up here. You know, sometimes the corners, I don't know, it's hard to get the corners to meet exactly, you know, perfect. Just do the best you can. I don't really think the dolls will care. I mean, if you looked at the one that I've done before, they didn't, all the corners didn't perfectly line up. But, you know, like I said, just do the very best you can. Try to get them to line up as best you can. And if they don't worry, because it's not going to really matter, because I still think it's cute, even if they're not, all the corners don't perfectly match. Still cute. And like I said, my dolls are not very picky. I don't know about you, but my dolls aren't picky. They're okay with it. They're just happy to have a little beanbag chair to sit on, you know, in the dollhouse, you know. Okay, so got just a little bit more pinning. Now to cut my threads. Okay. All right. Clip my threads off. Okay. Now then, okay. So now we have one last side to do. Now this is the important side because now we've got, see, you'll see, if you notice, it kind of looks like a football, okay? So you have one last side left, okay? We've sewn all the sides together, and the last side is, we're going to join these together, but we're going to make sure that we leave a space. I would say, I don't know, I get my hem gauge right here, maybe about 2 inches. So starting from right here, I would put a pin where you're going to mark it, okay? And then another one about right here, about 2 inches. Do about 2 inches. That way you have a good amount of space to be able to put, to get your, you're going to use a, if you have a funnel that has a large wide mouth, I don't have one, but I would suspect that a funnel that is used for canning, you know, that might be a good one to use. Something that has a very large mouth. Now, how I'm going to do it, and I will show you a little bit later. This is how I did my others. I used a piece of paper and I just kind of rolled it up. And then I used a spoon to kind of get that. Okay, let's try to, it gets kind of thick right here, so let's try to, I'm going to try to, sometime, okay, there we go. Remember to take your pins out. Don't leave them in there. Okay, and remember, now we're going to stop at this pin right here that has the blue head. We're going to stop there and then make sure that we back stitch. We're going to back stitch so that it will hold. So I'll stop right there, take my pin out, and I'm going to back stitch. Make sure that it has a good hold. Now I'm going to clip my threads, okay? Clip my threads there, both ends. Okay, now then, I'm going to start at the yellow pin, okay, because that's about where 2 inches. So we'll start right there and take my pin out, and then I'm going to back stitch again, okay? Back stitch pretty good so that that will hold, you know, when you try to start to fill it, okay? Okay, now take this out, clip your threads again. Okay, and I clip, let's see. All right, okay, here's threads right here. We're going to clip these threads. Okay. All right, okay. Here we go. Now then, now we've got it all sewn together. Now, see, this is another thing. It's so that you can turn it right side out. So we're going to turn our beanbag right side out, okay? All right. Oops, you know what? I'm going to have to, there's one little spot that I'm going to have to redo because when I was sewing it together, it did not catch all the way. So I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to redo that so that that side will catch in there and it won't be a hole. All right, so I'm going to clip this thread right here. All right, so I pretty much got it all. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is just to fill it with the polyfill beads, okay? All right, so I'm going to turn the camera around in just a little bit and I'll show you how to do that. All right, okay. Well, now we have our little bean bag. We've got it done, all except for filling it with the polyfill, okay? So I will show you how we're going to do that. So now what I do is I get a piece of, and she said piece of paper, but you know, it probably would be, cardstock is kind of sturdier. So just kind of, you want to just kind of fold it until it's in a funnel tube, kind of like this, okay? And I would even get a piece of tape, you know, and tape it together. That way you're going to put your this funnel thing down inside of the beanbag. And let me find a piece of tape here. Okay. All right. So I've got some tape, and I'm just going to tape. Otherwise, the funnel's going to come apart. So anyway, so I'm going to put some tape on it. Okay. All right. That way, our funnel, excuse me, well, you might even want to cut it off at the end so you have a, you know, okay. So now you've got a funnel here, okay? And you're just going to take the, okay, cut that out. So you're going to take the funnel and you're going to put it down inside that hole, okay, where you're filling it up at. And then what you're going to use to fill it is this polyfill, okay? It's called Polyfill Beanbag Filler, okay? And you can get that on Amazon, and I will put a link down in the description area where you can get that. Now, it may not be exactly what I have, but it'll be very, very similar. I'll show you what they look like. If you'll see, okay? And this is exactly how big it is. It's very, you know, it's kind of small. It's very similar. Makes me think of the cereal. What kind of cereal is it? Not Cocoa Puffs, because it's not, obviously it's not, Kix. That's what it reminds me of. It's about that size, really. It's about the size of Kix cereal. So you're going to put your funnel down inside this hole, and then you're going to use, using a spoon, you'll just dip your spoon into your bag that has the thing, and just be careful, because, you know, actually what I think is a good idea is if you just take your baggie, okay, we've got this stuff right here. You just take the funnel and just scoop it into the bag, then that will get it in there pretty easily. You can just kind of shake it down. Now, they sometimes fall all over the place, so just be very careful with these eventually, okay? So you can just do that. Just kind of, oops, make sure they don't fall out though. Okay, so scoop it up and down into your beanbag, okay? And just keep on doing that. Keep on scooping your beanbag filler into your beanbag until, okay, see, I've got beanbag filler in there, and I'm just whoops. Sometimes they kind of go everywhere, so you got to be careful. This stuff will go everywhere, so Okay, I'm gonna, okay, kind of shake this out. Okay, so it'll go down in there and it, okay, there we go. It's getting fuller. It's getting a little bit fuller there, but it still needs some in there. Okay, you want to kind of get it to where it's sort of tight. So just keep on scooping and filling. You know, scooping and filling. So you get the idea though, okay? So you just kind of keep on doing that and try not to make a mess because these things do go everywhere. Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to try this again and hopefully they won't all go down on the floor. All right, eventually you might just have to get a spoon and spoon it into here. You want to get it to where, see, where I have like this one, you want to get it to where it's kind of tight. You don't want it, so right now, whoops, right now it's still not quite tight enough. It needs more in there. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to scoop more in there and hopefully I'll get them to stay in there and not be all on the floor because I've got a bunch of them that's on the floor right now. So I have a mess that I'm going to have to clean up. So just try to make sure that you're not getting bean filler all over the place. After you have gotten all of your beans or beanbag filler into your beanbag, after you've gotten your beanbag the way you like it, then you will just hand sew okay, now they're getting it in there and I didn't really spill any more. Okay, so after, get back down in there. Okay, after you get all the beans in there that you need, you will just sew this up. And I will show you that in just a little bit, how you can sew this up, okay? You're going to sew that up and I'm going to try to make sure, that I keep all the little beans, the beanbag filler, I'm going to keep it down in the beanbag so it doesn't go everywhere. Because if you do, like I did, oh, there went one, then it's, okay, it's stuffed. It's getting a little bit more stuffed. Okay. All right, but it's still not quite as much as I really need for it to be. It's not as much as I need for it to be. So I'm gonna scoop a little bit more, and try to get more down in there so that I can get it stuffed fuller. Let's see how it is now, okay? No, you know what? I think this is pretty good. I think I'm going to leave it at that, okay? I'm going to leave it at that. And now I'm going to go ahead and start closing this up. And I'm going to pin it along there. Okay. I'm going to pin it along there. And I'm just going to, now this, you will have to hand sew this together. You can't do it on the machine. You will have to hand sew. Okay? So, okay. All right. Once you're done, you will just take a needle and thread. Let's see. Okay, here is a sewing needle. Okay, see that? It's about like that. Okay. There's a sewing needle, and I'm going to use the same kind of thread that I used to sew it with. Now then, okay, now I'm going to thread my needle. And this, I have to have my glasses on because I can't see to thread a needle without my glasses. Okay, so you're going to thread your needle. Okay, there you go. There, you thread your needle. Okay, now you're going to put a knot at the end of your thread. Okay, put a knot at the end of your thread so that it will hold. Okay, all right, so there we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to close up that side there. Okay, all right, so we're going to close it up. We're just going to make a few stitches along there. Okay, after you have already gotten that sewn up, and okay, I'm still not done with it, but anyway, you get the idea. So you will just keep on, sewing on this until you get it all sewn up, and then you would just tie off your thread. Okay, you just tie off the thread, and so that so that it won't come loose or anything. Okay, so there we go. All right, so there you've got a cute little bean bag for your dolls. So, all right, so I hope you enjoyed this, and like I said, go on her blog, and it's a pretty old post, I believe. So if you'll just go on her blog and Real Creative, Real Organized, if you'll go on that.com, and then it has a search box on there, and search for a doll beanbag pattern or something like that. And then you can get that free pattern, and then you can make your own beanbag for your dolls. So, okay, that is about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. All right, I guess I will see y'all later. Bye-bye.